Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little story time about the time that I had an emergency C-section. I also had a premature baby. My son was born at 27 weeks, and I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about that today. In 2013, I had a premature baby via emergency C-section. It happened Monday, October 14th. I was at work. It was just a normal day, but I was experiencing lower back pain. I didn't think too much of it because it wasn't really intense. It wasn't severe. It wasn't making me, it wasn't stopping me from doing anything that I was doing already. So I had reached out to my doctor and I explained to him that I was having lower back pains and that I was at work and, you know, should I wait till my appointment that was going to be for the following week so he can do a checkup. He advised me to go to the pet unit at the hospital that I was delivering at, the paternity ward. So I spoke to my boss. They let me leave early. I called my mother-in-law. She came with me. I drove myself to the hospital. She was in the passenger side. We was talking. She was like, oh, you know, he's telling you he's probably just being a little bit extra cautious. That's why he wants you to go to the hospital. Just go get checked. Afterwards, we could go shopping. We could, you know, do something. So she thought that it wasn't as bad as it was either because I was totally fine. Like I said, I drove myself to the hospital, which was like 15 minutes away. When I got to the hospital, they strapped me up to the monitors and then they noticed that I was contracting. And they checked me and they saw that I was 4 centimeters dilated. So they gave me medications to slow down the contractions and they had me on a monitor for a while. They also gave me an IV because usually when I'm pregnant, I get dehydrated really, really easily. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about because a lot of you probably experience the same thing. So they gave me fluids. They slowed the contractions down. They checked me and I was 4 centimeters dilated. So they checked my chart and they saw who my doctor was. He was the head, one of the head staffs of the department. So they had to reach out to my doctor before they released me because that's the terms that he had on any of his patients being admitted into the pet unit. Run the case by him. He'll check the case to see if the patient is, you know, up to going home or not. So they told the doctor how far dilated I was because at first they was gonna just let me go home being 4 centimeters dilated, which I've never heard before. But anyway, my doctor goes, no, admit her. We're gonna keep her for a few days just to check to see if the contractions get stronger or closer together and to see if she dilates anymore. So he came to see me that Tuesday after he finished at the office. He came to see me. He said, okay, well, by the looks of it, you look fine. The contractions are subsided. We're going to try and release you on Thursday. I'm going to be back tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm sorry, which is Tuesday. He came and checked me Tuesday. Also nothing. I was still doing fine. So Wednesday he came in, which was the 16th. He said, okay, everything looks good. You know, you are 4 centimeters dilated, so we're going to send you home on bed rest. You're not able to go back to work. We're going to, you know, fill out the paperwork. You can't go back to work. So he said, I'm going to come here and, you know, do one last check on Thursday, October 17th, before I release you. But I'm going to come in the morning before I start over at the office because he works in the hospital and he also has a office. So Wednesday night, you know, my husband was there the entire time. From Monday, he stayed Monday, Tuesday. So Wednesday, he goes, you know, we had my daughter who was 3 at the time. She was with my in-laws. He said, I'm gonna go home and give Peyton some type of normalcy because she's not used to being away from us from this long. I was feeling fine, so I told him, I said, okay, you can go home. I feel fine. I'll be home tomorrow. Just come tomorrow and I'll call you when I'm getting discharged. So around 5 or 6 o'clock, I wake up. 5 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, which is Thursday. I started having some pains. So I call the nurse. She checks me. She goes, "Oh, okay, well, it looks like you're starting to contract again. We're going to come and we're going to check you." About an hour or two after that, the pain was just so intense. Like, my son was literally pushing his way through the birth canal, and it was so intense. I called 911 and I was already in the hospital. What was I doing? Who was going to help me? I was already in a place to be helped. But anyway, I called 911. I was in the hospital, and I also called my husband. I said, you know, I need you to come as soon as you can. He was like 15-20 minutes away. I need you to come as soon as you can. I'm having a baby now. They call my doctor. He shoots right over there, and at 8:20 something, they send me into emergency C-section. They sent me into an emergency C-section. There was nothing that they can do to stop the progression of labor at that point. I had to do the emergency C-section. My son was born at 8:26 a.m. My husband, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law got to the hospital 5 minutes after he was born. Unfortunately, the doctor couldn't hold it off anymore. He was concerned about my health. He was concerned about the baby health. He had to do a C-section. On October 17, 2013, the doctor made the decision to do a classical C-section. Prior to having my emergency C-section, I didn't really know a lot about C-sections. I didn't know the different types of C-sections or anything like that. But anyway, I had a classical C-section, which was I was cut vertically and diagonally in order to get to the baby quicker, for easier access to the baby. When Logan was born, he was 2 pounds and 3 ounces and 12.5 inches long. He was born at 27 weeks gestational. I don't remember the birth at all, to be honest. The medication that they gave me kind of had me in like a haze. I remember laying there trying to focus and trying to work on my breathing because I was in like excruciating pain. My eyes were closed and I tried to open them, but unfortunately I couldn't get them open long enough to like even get any idea of how the baby looked. But I could hear everything around me, and I heard the baby make a whimper. So after I heard the baby whimper, make some type of noise, I was a little bit relieved knowing that the baby was alive. So they rushed Logan to the NICU, where he stayed in the NICU for 70 days. He was in the NICU for a really long time. He was in there for Thanksgiving. He was in there all the way up until, it was 67 days. He was there until Christmas Eve. He wasn't supposed to come home till after January because his original due date was January 11th. He was supposed to stay in the NICU until after his due date, but the hospital that I had Logan in was an amazing hospital. It was a rough journey at first. There was plenty of times where we were in the room with Logan and he would just stop breathing, and then they would have to come and rush him out to get him to start breathing again. He did some good. There was some days that were really, really good, and there were some days that were like, man, I'm just praying and putting all my faith into God because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bring my baby home. There were some days he went into surgeries. After surgeries, he was on medications. He was on feeding tubes, on oxygen, just so many different tubes, so many different machines, so many different nurses and doctors in and out. that time was a really, really tough time for myself and my family. It really tested my faith. It really tested our faith as a whole, because like I said, we didn't know at the end of this journey was we going to be able to bring my son home. We didn't know. I'm just blessed to say that he was able to come home without any major health issues, or without any health issues, without any long-term health issues, because I know a lot of premature babies sometimes develop long-term health issues, but fortunately Logan didn't, knock on wood. When he was released from the hospital, he was 4 pounds. He wasn't on any oxygen. He was eating by bottle. He was used to the nipple. Only thing that was wrong with Logan when he was released was he had a swollen kidney, and it was monitored, and by his first birthday the swelling of the kidney went down. He had a few delays in reference to meeting milestones, but overall he was perfectly fine. He was sitting up, he was talking. He did the physical therapy because he didn't have a full range of motion of his neck from being in the incubator and always being, either laying on his stomach. What else? I don't know. That 67 days, like I said, was a really, really tough time for me and my family. It was hard because I was trying to heal from a C-section, and I was trying to take care of a 3-year-old. I was trying to run to the hospital every chance I get. It was really, really difficult. I'm just blessed that my husband was there all of the way. My mother-in-law was there all of the way. My family really, really stepped up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My family stepped up. They helped out with my daughter. We weren't allowed to let a lot of people in the NICU, but unless they were with either me, my mother-in-law, or my husband. And my mother-in-law got a pass because she was retired at the time, and she was close to the hospital. So I felt like if I wasn't able to make it, or my husband wasn't able to make it, she was there. She was able to do things, was able to get some of the information that was needed. And I really, really loved the hospital that Logan was born in, because they gave daily updates either at night or in the morning to tell me how much he weighed, how much he drank, if he was on oxygen, how much the flow was. They gave me so many updates. I'm gonna try and insert a clip of the updates, like how the email came and how the phone calls came. Every night it was a phone call that came in, and it would go, I don't have the voicemails of the phone calls anymore, unfortunately, but it would go like, "Hi mommy, this is Logan. I'm just calling to tell you that I ate, such and such amount of bottles today. Each of them were like 1 ounce or 2 ounces, or, something of that sort." That's it. But fortunately, it's 2019. My baby is now 6 years old. He's healthy, he's fine, he's thriving in all aspects of life. I'm just so blessed. I know that some families are not able to say that when they have a baby so premature, or so early, but I'm just so blessed that my son was able to make it, and was able to, come out on the other side with minimum issues, if not any issues. Yeah, so I'm gonna insert a picture of how he is now, how he looks now, and I'm gonna try and insert like a small clip of him now, and I'm gonna try to insert also a clip of him when he was first born, on the first day he was born. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video or would like to see more story times, please feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.